Duck herding on rice fields in Vietnam. Tradition, ecology, economy, and future perspectives. Abstract. Duck herding on rice fields, locally known as nuôi, chạy, đồng, is a traditional agricultural practice deeply rooted in Vietnam's rural culture. This system integrates rice cultivation with free-range duck farming, creating a mutually beneficial relationship between crops, livestock, farmers, and the environment. This article provides a comprehensive academic-style overview of duck herding in Vietnam, examining its historical origins, cultural significance, production techniques, economic value, ecological impacts, regional variations, challenges, modernization trends, policy frameworks, and future prospects, drawing on agricultural studies, rural development perspectives, and sustainability frameworks. This paper positions duck herding as a unique example of integrated farming systems in Southeast Asia. Vietnam is an agrarian country where agriculture has shaped economic structures, cultural identity, rural livelihoods for thousands of years among various traditional farming systems. Duck herding on rice fields stands out as an adaptive and resilient practice that maximizes land use efficiency while maintaining ecological balance, unlike confined poultry farming. Duck herding relies on seasonal rice cultivation cycles, allowing duck to forage freely on harvested or flooded fields. This practice has gained renewed attention in recent decades due to increasing concerns about sustainable agriculture, environmental protection, rural income stability as industrial farming models face criticism for pollution, disease outbreaks, and high input costs. Traditional integrated systems such as duck herding present viable alternatives. This article aims to provide a detailed and structured analysis of duck herding on rice fields in Vietnam, suitable for academic reference, blog publication, research documentation. Historical background of duck herding in Vietnam. Duck domestication in Vietnam dates back several millennia, closely associated with wet rice cultivation. Archaeological evidence suggests that early Vietnamese communities in the Red River Delta and Mekong Delta integrated ducks into rice farming systems as early as the Bronze Age. Ducks were valued not only for meat and eggs but also for their ability to control pests and weeds. Evolution through dynasties. During feudal periods, especially under the Li, Tran, and Nguyen dynasties, rice agriculture expanded significantly. Duck herding became more organized, with seasonal migration of duck flocks following rice harvests. Historical records indicate that some landlords allowed duck herders to graze their flocks on harvested fields in exchange for pest control and manure. Colonial and post-colonial periods. Under French colonial rule, commercial rice production increased, particularly in the Mekong Delta. Duck herding adapted to larger-scale farming and market-oriented production. After independence, collectivization policies initially disrupted traditional practices, but duck herding re-emerged strongly during the Doi Moi economic reforms in the late 1980s. Duck herding in rural life. Duck herding is more than an economic activity, it is a way of life for many rural households. Families often pass down herding knowledge through generations, and seasonal duck migration shapes daily routines and social interactions. Folk knowledge and traditions. Traditional beliefs guide duck herding practices, such as selecting auspicious days for releasing ducklings onto fields or interpreting weather patterns to predict disease risks. Folk songs, proverbs, and rural stories frequently reference ducks and rice fields as symbols of abundance. Community cooperation. Duck herding requires coordination among farmers, landowners, and herders. Informal agreements regulate access to fields, water sources, and grazing schedules, reinforcing community bonds and mutual trust. Integrated rice duck farming systems. Duck herding exemplifies integrated farming, where crop and livestock production support each other. Ducks feed on leftover rice grains, insects, snails, and weeds, reducing the need for chemical inputs. Pest and weed control. One of the most significant ecological benefits is natural pest management. Ducks consume golden apple snails, insects, and weed seedlings that otherwise threaten rice crops. Nutrient cycling and soil fertility. Duck manure enriches soil with organic matter and nutrients, improving soil structure and fertility. This natural fertilization reduces dependence on synthetic fertilizers. Indigenous duck breeds. Vietnam has several native duck breeds well suited for free-range herding, including the county duck, bao duck, and tao duck. These breeds are resilient, adaptable, and efficient foragers. Hybrid and improved breeds. In recent years, hybrid breeds have been introduced to improve growth rates and egg production. However, these breeds often require more careful management and disease control. Breed selection criteria. Farmers select breeds based on climate, rice cropping patterns, market demand, and disease resistance. Seasonal timing and rice cycles. Duck herding is closely synchronized with rice harvesting schedules. Ducks are released onto fields after harvest to feed on residual grains and pests. Herd management techniques. Herders guide flocks using bamboo sticks, whistles, and trained dogs. Temporary shelters are constructed along canals or field edges. Feeding and nutrition. While ducks primarily forage naturally, supplementary feeding may be provided during migration or adverse weather conditions. Health and disease management. Common diseases include avian influenza and duck cholera. Traditional remedies coexist with modern veterinary practices. Mekong Delta. The Mekong Delta is the heartland of duck herding due to extensive rice cultivation and water networks. Large migratory flocks are common. Red River Delta. In the north, duck herding is more localized and integrated with smallholder farming. Central Vietnam. Limited flat rice land restricts large-scale herding, but small integrated systems persist. Income generation for rural households. Duck herding provides diversified income through meat, eggs, and byproducts. Market chains and trade. Products are sold through local markets, traders, and processing facilities. Cost-benefit analysis. Compared to industrial poultry farming, duck herding has lower feed costs but higher labor demands. Labor organization. Duck herding is labor-intensive and often involves entire families. Gender roles. Women play key roles in egg collection, marketing, and health management. Migration and lifestyle. Seasonal movement of duck flocks influences family life and education access. Disease outbreaks. Highly pathogenic avian influenza poses significant threats. Land use change. Urbanization and industrial agriculture reduce available grazing land. Climate change impacts. Floods, droughts, and unpredictable weather affect rice cycles and duck survival. Veterinary and biosecurity improvements. Mobile vaccination programs and disease monitoring systems have been introduced. Digital tools and market access. Some farmers use mobile phones for market information and coordination. Sustainable certification models. Organic rice duck farming certifications are emerging. Government support programs. The Vietnamese government promotes integrated farming for sustainability. Research and extension services. Agricultural institutes conduct research on rice duck systems. International cooperation. Development agencies support sustainable agriculture initiatives. Smallholder duck herding in Giang province. This case highlights income stability and ecological benefits. Organic rice duck farming models. Certified organic systems demonstrate market potential. Knowledge with modern science can enhance productivity while preserving cultural heritage. Conclusion. Duck herding on rice fields in Vietnam represents a sophisticated form of integrated agriculture that balances economic viability, ecological sustainability, and cultural continuity. As Vietnam navigates agricultural modernization and environmental challenges, this traditional practice offers valuable lessons for sustainable rural development.